Believe me.
28. Systems Administrator for a remote research facility. Location, Northern Greenland, basically the armpit of the Arctic Circle. Job description, keep the servers running, keep the internet connected so scientists can watch Netflix, don't freeze to death. Personality, human equivalent of a dial-up tone. I like machines because they have manuals and off switches. I dislike people because they have emotions and mouth noises. Salary is absurdly high because nobody wants to live in a glorified shipping container for 6 months.
Perfect for me.
Saving up to buy a cabin in the woods where I can never speak to another human being again.
Life is simple.
Wake up, drink black coffee, fix a router, ignore the biologists, sleep. MFW life is actually peaceful.
Enter the variable.
New rotation of scientists arrives via helicopter. Usually they are old, bearded men who smell like formaldehyde and sadness.
Not this time. Enter Maya.
26. Marine biologist. 52. Hair dyed a color that doesn't exist in nature, neon purple, carrying 3 heavy cases and tripping over her own boots. Watches her drop a $5,000 sensor array on the tarmac.
Oops.
MFW, I see the inventory ticket and realize I have to calibrate that sensor later. Internal screaming commences. She looks at me, huge goggles on her face. Hi, I'm Maya, are you the tech wizard? They said there's a wizard. Look at her dead in the eye. I'm the janitor for the internets.
Walk away.
Hope that's the end of it. Narrator, it was not the end of it.
2 weeks later.
Maya is a chaos engine.
She hums constantly.
Not a tune, just random vibrations. She leaves empty coffee cups on top of server racks.
She names the equipment.
Caught her putting googly eyes on the main firewall unit. His name is Firewall, why get it? Stare at her until she leaves. She thinks we are friends because I fixed her laptop when she downloaded a virus from a free knitting patterns site. You're so quiet, Anon, it's mysterious. It's not a mystery, it's a defense mechanism. She laughs like I told a joke. She invades my personal space radius, which is approximately the size of the facility. I retreat to the subbasement. This is my sanctuary.
The archive.
Endless rows of magnetic tape storage and backup drives. Temperature near absolute zero. Noise level 0. I sit there and listen to my calm down playlist. Specifically one track. Track 09 WAV. Found it on an old hard drive I bought from a salvage yard 5 years ago. It's just 10 minutes of weird, rhythmic static and wind noises. Sounds like a dying whale trying to sing jazz. For some reason, it soothes the autism. It is the only thing that stops the brain static.
Setup complete, exe.
Be 1 month into the rotation. Weather forecast says the big one is coming. Polar vortex meets cyclonic depression. Fancy words for God hates this specific GPS coordinate. Station commander orders a lockdown. Everyone to the main mess hall for a cozy slumber party. My personal hell. Being trapped in a room with 12 extroverted scientists playing board games. Decide to do a last-minute check on the archive servers in the subbasement. Plan hide down there for an hour, pretend to fix a critical error, come back up when everyone is asleep. Grab my emergency kit, beef jerky, flashlight, Nintendo Switch. Head down the elevators. Doors open. Step into the freezing server room. Hear a noise behind me. Hold the door. MFW, a purple blur shoots into the elevator.
It's Maya,
carrying a crate of frozen algae samples. The main freezer is acting up. I have to put these in the backup cryo storage down here or 3 years of research turns into soup. I look at the elevator panels. I look at her. Hurry up, the storm is hitting the grid. She runs out to the cryolockers. I wait by the elevators. Lights flicker. Ominous hum, MP3 stops. The heavy blast doors at the top of the ramp slam shut automatically. The elevator dings and goes dead. Total darkness. Emergency red lights kick in.
Anons.
Don't speak, I'm thinking. Check the hardline phones.
Dead.
Check the comms panel. Connection lost. The facility has entered turtle mode. Blast doors seal for 48 hours minimum during a Cat 5 storm to prevent pressure blowouts. We are trapped in a concrete box 50 feet underground. Temperature 40 degrees F and dropping. Supplies my beef jerky and her frozen algae. Company, a woman who puts googly eyes on firewalls. MFW, I realize I am in a rom-com setup written by a sadist. Okay, don't panic, she says, immediately panicking. I'm not panicked, I have a switch and jerky. We're going to die, we're going to freeze, and they'll find us like woolly mammoths. The server heat exhaust usually keeps this room at 60 degrees. If the generators are running, we're fine. Here the generators spin down. Silent. Well, I say that's suboptimal. We have battery backups for the emergency lights and the life support air scrubbers. No heat. I go to my workstation corner. Pull out my thermal sleeping bag, always prepared. You have a sleeping bag, she asks, shivering. I work in a freezer, yes. She hugs her arms, wearing a lab coat and a thin sweater, looking at me with big, watery anime eyes. Sigh so hard my lungs almost invert. Get in. Unroll the bag. What? I'm not letting you die of hypothermia, Maya. The paperwork would be annoying. Forced proximity protocol engaged. We sit on the floor back to back, sharing the thermal blanket bag setup. It is incredibly awkward. She smells like vanilla and liquid nitrogen. I smell like coffee and cynicism. Hour 4. Boredom sets in. So Anon, tell me your life story. No. Come on, we might die. If we talk, we use more oxygen. That is scientifically inaccurate given the room volume. Damn, she's right. She starts talking. Tells me about her childhood. Grew up moving around army bases. Never had friends. Obsessed with the ocean because it's the only place quiet enough to think. Wait, that sounds familiar. I used to hide in the closet with my dad's old shortwave radio, she says. Just listening to the static between stations, it felt like space. I glance at her. Static? Yeah, I used to broadcast stuff too, just nonsense, pretending I was talking to aliens. Keep my face neutral. Internal curiosity rising. What kind of stuff? Oh, just me humming or reading books. I was a weird kid. I had this cheap violin. I was terrible. I'd play it over the open frequency just to annoy the local truckers. Brain itch. Ignore it. Sounds annoying, I say dryly. It was, but it was my signal, my I am here noise. Hour 12. It is getting colder. We are huddled closer. My shoulder is pressing against hers. Weirdly nice. No, stop it. Emotions are a glitch. Suppress exe. She falls asleep. Head on my shoulder. Drools a little bit on my tactical vest. MFW, I don't shove her off. MFW, I actually adjust the blanket so she's covered better. Am I becoming a simp? No, just preserving body heat, survival strategy. Totally alpha moves. Hour 24. Hunger. I share the beef jerky. This is tough, she complains. It's cow leather, eat it. She chews aggressively. You know, she says, mouthful. You act like a robot, but you have a stash of retro tech over there. Points to my workstation shelf. My collection. Old Game Boys, a Walkman, a Zune, don't judge, and my drive stack. I like old tech, it's honest, it works or it doesn't. What's on the drive? Data. Music. Some. Play something, the silence is loud. The silence is actually deafening. The wind is howling through the intake vents like a banshee. Battery power is at 60%. I hook up my portable speaker to the battery bank. Decide to play my calm down track. Figure it will bore her to sleep. Prepare to be underwhelmed, I say. Hit play on track 09, WAV. The sound fills the room. Hiss, crackle, whoosh, rhythmic thumping, screeching noise. It's basically white noise with a weird, distorted melody buried deep in the mix. I close my eyes, leaning head back against the server rack. Relaxing. Suddenly she grabs my arm. Grip strength surprisingly high. Open eyes. She is staring at the speaker, pale as a ghost. Turn it up. What? It's just static. Turn it up. I crank the volume. Scritch, scratch, hum. She starts humming. She is humming the exact countermelody to the distorted noise on the track. Perfectly in sync. The hairs on my arms stand up. "Where did you get this?" she whispers. "Found it on a salvage drive from a ham radio enthusiast in Ohio, years ago. Why?" She looks at me, eyes wide. "This isn't just static anon. It's the pattern." "What patterns?" "My patterns." She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a keychain. It has a small metal whistle on it. "When I was 11, I recorded a loop on my dad's equipment. I overlaid the sound of the ocean, my terrible violin, and the wind." She pauses, and I hit a Morse code message in the bass line. "Bullshit." "I'm serious. I broadcasted it for a week straight on an illegal frequency hoping someone would hear it. Nobody ever did." I look at the file metadata on my screen. Date created 2008. Location tag embedded, corrupted. "What does the Morse code say?" I ask, voice cracking slightly. She looks down, blushing. "It says, if you can hear this, you are not alone." Silence in the bunker. Heavier than before. I have listened to this track every night for 5 years. Whenever I felt isolated. Whenever the world was too loud. Whenever I felt like an alien in a human suit. And the person who made it is sitting next to me, eating my beef jerky. My brain is doing somersaults. I listen to this to sleep, I admit. "You do?" "Yeah, it makes me feel grounded." She smiled. A genuine soft smile, no sarcasm, no chaos. I guess someone finally heard it. Hour 36. The dynamic has shifted. The wall is down. We talk about everything. She explains the stars. I explain how the internet is held together by duct tape and prayers. She tells me she puts googly eyes on things because she's afraid of technology feeling soulless. I tell her I act cold because I feel things too intensely and it burns me out. Deep emotional vulnerability in a freezing basement. Classic Stockholm Syndrome or genuine connection. Who cares? She is shivering violently now. Temps are dropping to critical. Batteries are dying. Lights flicker and die. Pitch black. Venant. "I'm here. I'm cold. Come here." Pull her properly into the sleeping bag. Zip it up. Full body contact. She is small and soft. Heart rate 180 BPMs. "Keep it together, Anons." "You're warm," she murmurs. "High metabolism running hot." "Like a server." "Sure, like a server." She wraps her arms around me. Buries face in my chest. "Thanks for not letting me turn into a popsicle." "You're welcome." She falls asleep. I stay awake listening to her breathing. And the faint sound of the wind outside. Realizing that for the first time in my life. The silence isn't empty. It's full. Hour 48. Sudden noise. Hydraulic hiss. The blast doors groan. Light floods in. Blinds APG. "Anyone down here?" It's the station commander. "Rescue team." They find us. Tangled together in a sleeping bag, surrounded by empty jerky wrappers and server racks. Maya wakes up, hair a disaster, drool on my shirt. "Is the storm over?" she yawns. Commander looks at me. Looks at her. Smirks. "Did we interrupt something?" I stand up, helping Maya up. Dust off my pants. Return to factory settings, stoic mode. "Just preserving biomass through thermal regulation, sir. Systems are offline, we need a reboot." Maya giggles. "He kept me warm," she says, beaming. 1 week later. Storm is gone. Facility is back to normal. But nothing is normal. Maya doesn't put googly eyes on my equipment anymore. Instead, she brings me coffee, real coffee, not the instant sludge. She sits in the server room while I work. Doesn't talk, just reads her data. Sometimes hums that specific tune from track 09. I catch her eye. We share a look. Though we almost died in a basement and realized we are soul bonded via a 15-year-old radio wave look. Yesterday, I found a sticky note on my main monitor. "If you can read this, you are not alone, M." Attached is a new MP3 drive. It's a playlist she made. Songs for the ice janitor. It's full of post-rock and ambient noise. And one track of her playing the violin, badly but with heart. Be today. Sitting in the mess hall. She walks in, sits at my table. Everyone stares because I usually radiate do not approach energy. She steals a fry off my plate. Hey Anons. Hey Mayas. Want to go check the sensors on the North Ridge later? It's quiet there. Pause. Check internal diagnostics. Social battery strangely full. Annoyance levels 0. Affection levels critical mass. Sure, but if you drop another sensor, I'm leaving you there. A deal. She smiled. Spaghetti falls out of my pockets. But I don't care. MFW the chaos is exactly what the system needed. MFW I found the signal in the noise. Life is good.